Curious case of deja vu for Blackburn Rovers as they were held to a 2-2 draw up against Birmingham, but this time it was on the road at St Andrews, and we're going to talk about it next. That's right, folks, back once again with another match review. This time looking back at Blackburn Rovers 2-2 draw up against Birmingham. I'll get to that in just 1 second. If you're new to the channel, smash your subscribe button. Keep your bang out to date with all things Blackburn Rovers related, championship related, world football related. We're going to all hear under one roof. Now, let's jump straight into the thick of things and talk about it. The result ended Rovers' 4-game losing streak. It didn't get us back into winning ways, though, but ultimately we stopped the rot with a 2-2 draw. Now, if you hear some funky noise in the background, it is Luna. She is there with a brand new bone, and she's very excited to see it. But yes, 21,869 people were in attendance to watch Rovers and Birmingham duke it out to a 2-2 draw in a game that Rovers were very slow out of the blocks. And when I'm talking slow, we're talking 30 minutes, folks. We weren't even in the game. In fact, Birmingham were pretty unlucky not to be 2 or 3 goals in front at this stage, with the first goal obviously coming through Che Adams for Birmingham on the 16th minute. Beautifully taken goal, and this man is going places, whether it is with Birmingham City or with someone else. He is going places. I heard it over the week, Scotland sniffing around. They want him to represent their strike force for the next 10 years. But I don't know. It's going to be a similar case to Declan Rice, I suppose. But definitely a quality player. He's got youth on his side as well. He's got all the attributes. He's strong, big lad. Very, very good player, and Birmingham are lucky to have him. And we'll see what the soap opera that is Che Adams will be over the next season or so, because obviously there is a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes with Birmingham, with all the old transfer shit and, pardon my French, and all that kind of good stuff going on. But anyway, he opened up the score on the 16th minute. It was all Birmingham. Unfortunately for us, we only were in one. We ended halftime, or got to halftime, just the 1 goal down. Obviously, Mowbray, the hairdryer treatment must have been on full effect, because came out of the blocks pretty much gung-ho, and we leveled the scores at 1-1, courtesy of the man, the wizard, that is Charlie Mulgrew, straight from the corner, pinged it in. No one touched it. He's done this before, not once, not twice. This was the 3rd time he's done this, straight from the corner, to make it 1-1. And then it was game on, folks. Again, Birmingham kind of got themselves back into it, and they looked probably the favourable out of the two sides, but we did get a nice bit of fortune as well. Danny Graham took the lead on the 83rd minute, and his shot took a deflection on 2 or 3 players, got in the back of the net. Fortunately, we were in a position to win this game, but it only lasted for about 90 seconds before that man again, Che Adams, made it 2-2. And ultimately, I am happy for it. I don't think we deserved to win it, if I'm honest with you. I thought it was a fair game. Obviously, the first 30 minutes we sucked. The middle of the game, I think we owned. And the back end of it, Birmingham as well. So I think all in all, a fair result. And a quick look at some more stats down there. Total shots, though, Birmingham. These stats would prove my words completely useless. 16 shots for Birmingham compared to our 6. They had more possession, but only just 51% compared to our 49. They also had just a little bit better successful pass rate, 64% compared to our 62. They won more aerial battles. They were more fruitful with the tackles as well. More corners, 8-2, and we were dispossessed more times than them as well. Quick look at the starting lineups. Here they go. Cap in goal, Pedersen, Dean, Morrison, and Colin. Magoma, Gardner, Kiffin, Belt, and Jota, Adams, and Djukacic up top. And he was, again, he's there for a purpose, obviously, ex-Dingle. We don't really don't want to talk about too much. But he's gangly little fella, causing all kinds of problems. Now, a quick look at the Rovers lineup. Ryan Goal, Bell, Rodwell, Mulgrew, and Nyambe. Smallwood, Travis, Dack, Bennett, Reed, and Graham. And my match ratings for my Rovers. Obviously, Ryan got a 7, Bell got a 7, Rodwell with a 6, Mulgrew with a 7, Nyambe with a 6, Smallwood with a 6, Travis with a 7, Dack with a 6, Bennett with a 5, Reed with a 6, and Graham with a 7. Obviously, a lot of people get more credit. Obviously, Mulgrew gets a 7 for that wonder strike. But besides that, little to no effect. I think he was even at fault for their first goal, him or Amari Bell. But anyway, that is that. Now, quick look at some of the old stats from WhoScored.com. The man who had the most shots on the day was Che Adams. with 5. Jack Witz had 2. Bradley Dack had 2 for us. Graham had 2 as well. Harley Dean also had 1. As for the tackles, Pedersen was most fruitful alongside Gardner. Both of them had 4 tackles apiece. Nyambe and Bennett representing Rovers with 4 and 3 respectively. Clifford Belt had 2. As for the dribbles, Gardner was most successful for Birmingham with 2. Murray Bell and Dack with 2 for us. Harley Dean and Pedersen also had 1. And at the top there, they are the key players. According to WhoScored.com, quick look at the shots where they took place. Did you see that big old blue line? That is Charlie Mulgrew's corner direct in the back of the net. And as you can see, Che Adams' second goal was a very, very acute angle. It was actually a crazy angle. You could probably compare it to the angle of a corner. You would have probably backed against him missing, but a man on his form at the moment, phenomenal. Quick more stats for you. They had more passes as well, 381 to our 367. They also had more touches of the ball, 563 to our 542. And down the bottom there, you can see a bit of a summary of where all around the goal mouth area where the shots took place. And if you're a heat map man just like me, take a look at the heat maps. Look at that, David Ryan, very, very busy, a hot spot for him. Also in our defensive third, I guess, it seems to be very keen area in the centre of the park and also on the right hand side for Rovers. Some more stats for you here. Of those 383 passes Rovers took place, 11 of them were crosses, 1 through ball, and 107 long balls and 264 short passes. As for Birmingham, 400 passes for them, 18 crosses, 1 through ball, 94 long balls, and 287 short passes. Now, how about the attempts on goal? 16 for Birmingham, 11 in open play, 5 were from set piece. As for us, 6 were the total amount of chances for us, 4 open play, 2 were set piece. And a quick summary here again, all courtesy of WhoScored.com. Birmingham were effective at creating goal scoring opportunities through individual skill, and they were also effective at creating goal scoring opportunities through balls. As for Rovers, we were effective at creating goal scoring opportunities through 4 balls as well, and were strong at finishing. Meanwhile, our weaknesses were aggressive. I'm not too sure what that means. Styles for the day. Rovers long balls. It was a case of that. I saw that a lot of the time. As for Birmingham, they attacked down the left hand side a lot, and they also favoured long balls. Now you heard a little bit what I've had to say about the match. What did the fans say on social media? Let's take a little look. Northern Rover said this: frustrating after working so hard to get in front. Time again, we take this lead and concede almost straight away. We cannot deal with straightforward punts into our box, but at least the point stops the sequence of defeats. Indeed, Matt Stilto said this: Rovers' season summed up between the 83rd and 85th minute today. Solid performance after a dodgy start. Got to admire the gritty determination. We would have taken a point before the game. Indeed, we would have. Talk of Ewood said this: brilliant to come back from 1 goal down away from home, but let ourselves down again late on. Improvements though. On to the next one. #Rovers. Meanwhile, Mike Delap said this: we looked alarmingly bad under a punted high ball. We seemed to enter panic mode. The most rudimentary of footballing attacks. Travis, Rodwell, Raya, Dack and Reed all had good outings though. Plenty to work on though, as we still don't look ourselves. Tom Scofield said this: realistically, it's a point taken. It's just the way it seems to happen with us. Score and then concede instantly. Good that we stopped the run of losses. And Becky said this: said I'd be happy with a draw before the game and happy with 1 afterwards. Now you've heard a little bit what I've had to say about the match. What did the opposition fans have to say? I ain't got one of them for you. I've got 2 Birmingham fans for you, 1 for each of Che Adams' goals. Here they come.
So I just got in from the game, and I think today, I think a draw was fair. I thought Blackburn looked pretty good going forward. To be fair, they looked solid as well defensively. We struggled to break them down, but I think Blackburn's goals, the ones that they got, were very fluky, like straight in from a corner and a deflection off a free kick. But it was at the other end of the pitch, so I couldn't properly see it. But as well, though, our last goal shouldn't have gone in. The goalkeeper should not be getting beaten at a near post like that. But I think a draw is fair. But I think we didn't look at our best today. We was just lacking something going forward, and it was the same with Blackburn. Like, it was just the final little bit in the final third. But yeah, I just think a draw is fair, and Blackburn, they could have won that game easily. Like, the amount of they missed a sitter at the end. I think it was Danny Graham missed a sitter, and they had some decent like build-up play and stuff like that, where it was just lacking that little maybe shot or something in the final third in the box. But other than that, I think I'm happy with a draw, and I think a draw is a fair result. But Blackburn fans might disagree with me.
Hi Dirk, just out from the game now. I think it's, personally for me, I'm a bit frustrated with a point. I think that the manner in which we got it and the fact that you let the lead slip so quickly, you'll obviously be disappointed as well. Opening dominance of the first 25 minutes, we should be seeing games out. Regardless of who you're playing, you have to put 2 or 3 away in that first 25 minutes when you're playing how we are. It's been a bit of a story of the season so far, is that we can't seem to just get over the line with them clinical goals. We did it at QPR the other week, but then we obviously shipped in 3 from that point. Man performances today, I thought Gary Gardner was very good. But we've got to talk about the star man again. He's on everybody's lips, Che Adams. 2 superb goals. The goals that he scored today are absolutely fantastic. One goal where you're thinking, where's he going to put it? It's in the bottom corner. And a second goal where you think he's going to pull it across the box. Bang, it's in off the post, and we've rescued a point. As I say, to summarise, I am disappointed with a point. I think we should be taking all 3 away. But football's a funny old game. And Blackburn will also be disappointed not to be taking all 3 points away. Good luck with the videos. Keep right on, up the Blues.
And you've heard a little bit what I've had to say about that. Actually, you've heard what the opposition fans have had to say. Woo! What does Luna have to say? Heck no, what does Tony Mowbray have to say? Here's his comments from shortly after the match.
Listen, the frustration in the dressing room is there to feel. Really, you can practically cut it. It's that was that. You know, let's talk about the game. First 20 minutes was just unacceptable again. Really, I think a lack of confidence, a fear in the team, losing 4 games on the bounce, and it just reflected in what happened. Really, they sat behind the ball. Nobody pressed the ball. Nobody was on the front foot. I've said before, I want to get to a stage with this football team where I don't have to get off the bench and shout like an idiot at them, and yet they took that today to start getting a few people more forward and winning some balls in midfield and breaking and looking like we can hurt the opposition. And I thought for the last half an hour, the first hour, last 20 minutes of the first half, I thought we did that. I thought it put them on the back foot. They thought, wow, it's not going to be as easy as we maybe thought. The goal obviously helps. Mulgrew, it takes a little bit of that anxiety out where you're chasing a goal. It gives us 1-1 and gives us a platform to try and build and put the pressure on. I thought we could win the game. The game went a bit end-to-end for a spell. They pushed their full-backs on, they made some attacking substitutions, and they were looking to try and win it. We scored on the break, deflected goal, and you expect to win with, I don't know how long was left, 3, 4, 5 minutes left. But listen, let's see it. It's like the elephant in the room. It's not the first time that we've thrown away a winning position. Ellen Road is obviously the prime case of that. 2-1 in front going into the 91st minute and managing to lose it. Today we got a point when we were 2-1 up with 87 minutes or something on the clock. I don't know what it was. So a real frustration for us, and yet there's the spirit of the team. Armstrong breaks away down the right, going into way into injury time. Dax full stretch, can't quite poke it in the net, but I thought it sort of epitomised our team today a little bit. You know, really frustrating for spells, really good for other spells. Amazing effort in that last hour of the game, and we came away with a point, so it stops the rut of the defeats. Put the point in the bag, let's move on. We've got a tough one at Rotherham next week and then 2 home games, and let's just keep going. Yeah, I don't want to point fingers, to be honest. I think David has found some form over recent week. I think the last disappointment he had was the goal Bristol scored against him, where I felt he should have effected the corner kick. He'll be disappointed, of course, because it's practically on the byline and it goes in, and it's only the fact that it's the inside the post and goes in, because it's an impossible angle to score from, really. I wasn't happy the fact that we tried to play offside on the edge of the 18-yard box, and he just wants a straight little pass, a good little pass, but a straight little pass. But even the boy can't score from the byline, and unfortunately he did. So David will look at it with Ben, and yeah, it'll reflect. I've spoke to him. He said it sort of went under his foot, through his legs, sort of thing, really. Where's your hands? Never mind your foot and legs. Why are you not saving it with your hand? But I don't, you know, we are talking on air. It's not for me to criticise my own goalies. I think he's been pretty good over recent weeks, and this is his first season in this league. It's his second real full season in professional football. He's a young guy that's doing okay, and it's probably not the right time for me to bash him. I can bash him behind closed doors and tell him what he needs to do, but not probably to yourself. I think we talked long and hard about this game because, you know, as with our professional pride, we didn't want to lose another one, and what we did in the first 20 minutes just showed me that won't happen again. You know, I sort of involve the players. I sort of have a leadership group amongst some of the senior players, and we discuss what the best way of going about football sometimes is. And they wanted to play a slightly deeper block rather than so high up the pitch. Felt a bit vulnerable over the top, particularly against a long ball team. If we were going to call Birmingham, that's a bit unfair on them, but they do have Jukovic, and they play a lot of long balls to Jukovic. And so they were a bit afraid of getting caught behind the ball, with the ball going over their heads. I watched the first 20 minutes as you watched the first 20 minutes, and we just sat too deep. No need to be scared of the space over the top, and I just pushed the team 20 yards further up the pitch, and we engaged with Smallwood and Travis and Bennett and Reid, and we started nicking it off them and breaking and running in the space behind them, and that's football really. And I believe our team is a front foot, high pressing football machine really, that at its best can beat anybody if they try and play through us.
Okay, let's wrap it up, folks. What else going on this weekend? In the Championship, Brentford smashed up Hull 5-1 today to continue their recent turn of events. Aston Villa cannot get themselves a victory. A 1-1 draw up against Stoke. Reading also drew with our next opponents, Rotherham. Wigan also forced a draw with Ipswich, who were down to 10 men for at least the second half, I think. Sheffield Wednesday picked up a 3-1 win against Swansea. Preston continued their form as well. What's up, baby? What's up? Preston continued their form away from home. 3-1 winners over Millwall. Middlesbrough got back to winning ways again. 2-0 win over QPR. Norwich made it late. 3-2 winners over Bristol City. Leeds also were made to grind it out a little bit. 2-1 winners over Bolton. And Sheffield United also got a valuable 1-0 win over West Brom. And Luna is absolutely upset with that. She's in tears. Quick look at the table. Sees Norwich top of the pops with Sheffield United in second. Leeds third. West Brom fourth. Middlesbrough fifth. And Bristol are in sixth. As for the bottom three, Ipswich, Bolton and Rotherham occupy the relegation spots. Rovers smack dab in the middle of the table in 14th. Birmingham are in 8th. But there is only 3 points to separate the two sides. So realistically, in the next game, Rovers could jump as high as 8th. So let's not get all crazy, folks. Let's not get okay. It's a very, very tight old league. Next weekend, though, this is what happens. Leeds take on West Brom. Fruity game there. Millwall up against Norwich. Ipswich up against relegation threat in Reading. Brentford up against QPR. Preston up against Bristol. That'll be a tasty one. Wigan against Middlesbrough. Hull, Birmingham, Stoke, Notts Forest. Rotherham take on Blackburn Rovers. Aston Villa against Derby. Swansea, Bolton. Sheffield Wednesday up against Sheffield United. And Derby against Wigan. Double header there. So Derby and Wigan featuring twice this week. So who have our opponents? Birmingham have got Hull. So that's going to be a tasty one. Those two are featuring right smack dab in the middle of the table. That's pretty much all I've got for you today, folks. If you've enjoyed this video, please give it a good old thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, smash your subscribe. Keep your bang up to date with all things Blackburn Rovers related, Championship related, world football related. We're going to all here under one roof. And also check out the old description. Links to my other social media platforms are in there. Twitter, Facebook. It's all in there. And also drop down your own comments, what you thought about the match, the result, what's going to happen for Birmingham and Blackburn Rovers the rest of the season. They couldn't separate us at Ewood Park, and they couldn't separate us at St Andrews. Birmingham are always a tricky one. They're a bit of a bogey side for us. I remember us a couple seasons back. It was a bit of a relegation dogfight. Ultimately, we lost. Birmingham stayed up. Harry Redknapp was in charge. Yeah, you weren't my flavours of the month back then. You know, it was a sour time. Everybody was my enemy back then, particularly Owen Coyle. He was just clueless, and he was fired or made way too little, too late. The damage had already been done, and Mowbray couldn't turn this beast around, but he has now, and hopefully this could be a springboard for something new for Rovers over the next couple of fixtures. Got Rotherham next. Then it is, I think it's back-to-back home games up against Preston and Wigan, which we need to win those, kind of settle the score a little bit. But anyway, we'll talk about that when that comes up. We'll also talk about the Rotherham game in a couple of days' time. Hopefully you enjoy the video. Once again, thumbs up, subscribe, and I'm going to bounce. Thanks again for watching. Please like, share, and most importantly, hit the subscribe button to keep you bang up to date with all things Blackburn Rovers related, Championship related, football related. We've got it all covered right under one roof. And while I still have you, please be sure to check out some of the old videos scattered along here. I hope.